episode 8 of a party cast number 8. Tinpot, tinny pot, but it's not. It's about CX.
When you started that, I was getting right into the groove, and then suddenly saw it said live, and I'm going,
Well,
dancing away.
The thing is, I was going to bring you in, but as people will have seen and heard in 2021, Sharon does not sing.
Not in public, no, for your own safety.
Do you sing in the car?
Yeah, but no one else can hear me.
Well, you got a convertible?
I don't put the roof down and sing.
Oh, right, okay. What songs do you sing in the car?
Oh, power ballads. They're the ones you have to sing really loudly, aren't they?
What's your favourite power ballad?
Oh, I can't think off the top of my head, but something that you've got to proper get into it and use your arms and wave everything about.
I remember I was doing a lot of audits last year. Energy audits, by the way.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like I'm doing audits. Where was I going? I was going to Cardiff from Bristol, and I was listening to power ballads in my car.
Yeah.
And I was singing my absolute head off to Celine Dion. I can't remember what it's called, but it's "Would you touch me like this?
Oh, yeah, okay.
I need you like that. It was so long ago, but it's all coming back. It's all coming back to me now. There were moments of gold and there were flashes of light. There were things we'd never do again, but then they'd always seem right. There were nights of endless pleasure. It was more than something I don't know the word. You know that one? And then the end it goes, and if we... That one. I remember absolutely going for it and looking to the right of me, and there was a woman in the car going...
I've just found which one it is now that I proper rock out to. It's Tina Turner, who's simply the best. That one. Love singing that one. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Tina Turner. I like Tina Turner's Private Dancer. From Private Dancer, dancer for money, do what you want me to do. Just a private dancer, dancer for money, and any old music will do. That one. Do you know that one?
Yeah, if people have just tuned in,
I'm seeing
you're getting a full blast karaoke right now.
Meatloaf recently died as well.
Oh, I know.
Meatloaf?
He had some major
Bat Out of Hell.
He?
Yeah, he did that. Yeah. I thought, what's that one song he did? It was I loved the start of it. It was on
I'll do anything for love.
No, it was would you give your throat to the wolf with the red roses? And do you love him? Yes. Again? Yes. It took the words right out of my mouth, I think it is.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if
Listeners, viewers, listen to that song and listen to the start of it. It's so like 80s, 90s. I believe it was 90s. It's unbelievable.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Let's have a look at the lyrics.
Yeah, but look at the lyrics. It's like something to do with a wolf.
Will he offer me his mouth? Yes. Will he offer me his teeth? Yes. Will he offer me his jaws? Yes. Is that the one you mean?
But no.
Offer your throat to the wolf with the red roses.
Yeah, but you've got to say it how he says it. Again, would you offer your throat to the wolf with the red roses? And does he love me? Yes. Again? Yes.
I've never heard that one. That's going to be my go-home music.
Yeah. After this, listen to that. I remember when I was younger and I had a hi-fi in my house.
A hi-fi?
Yeah. On cassette. I used to rewind it all the time just for that opening line. I absolutely loved it. I've never heard anything like it. So, Meatloaf, wherever you are, you gave me a lot of pleasure. And then there was that song you did with Cher, "Dead Ringer for Love." Do you remember that? That's a right song. Is that? That's a proper. If you're a commoner like me, yeah, that's a proper And I'd imagine like a bar fight to that. You know, if you're in a Spoons, for those of you who don't know, a Weatherspoons, and yes, we do frequent those. So if you're in a Weatherspoons and that comes on, it's a proper go nuts, throwing your 99p pints everywhere.
Meatloaf, you and me on the way home, mate.
Yeah, I'm gutted he's dead. Yeah, I'm gutted.
Yeah.
Good guy. He was a great actor as well. Really good actor. I can't remember what top of my head what films he was in, but I always remember him playing a really good bad guy. He was like John Travolta. Have you seen John Travolta in the film Broken Arrow? I mean, John Travolta,
Yes.
he can move, can't he? It's like Night Fever.
Yeah.
You know, all that lot. In Broken Arrow, he's great. He's like a real good bad guy, and he does that line, goes, God damn, what a rush. It's brilliant when he sets that nuke off. Anyway, I divert. So this is episode 8 of season 10. Not season 10. Episode 10 part series of the book. You are CX'y, and we know it. So we've done 7. We broke off to do a metaverse one halfway because there's some big announcements, so that's coming soon. So stay tuned
We like
for
to
that.
mix things up. Yeah.
Yeah, variety is a spice of life, as they say.
Absolutely.
As you listen to Celine Dion. But so we've got 2 more to go. In my go now, I think Sharon, you did the last one, Va-Va-Voom. And then it's Sharon's after that, and then we are done with the 10-part series, and then we'll go on and we'll do all sorts of. I mean, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's gonna be heavily aimed towards metaverse, educational, CX, bringing people along on that journey. What does that actually mean? We've got some very big projects underway, which we can't talk about in detail, but we can talk about in terms of some of the things that we're learning as we go through this interesting time of Web3 for those that watch it. So, as the screen says, this title is called Tinpot, as in Here to Tinpot 2.
Which is our podcast series.
Series is titled. But this is the Tinpot chapter, and it's really personal to me. Is this one? You know, I think we spoke about Hate Fire, haven't we, in the past? This chapter for me is the one that lights the fire under you when you don't want to do anything more, or you feel like you've done enough, and you imagine your naysayers, or the people that don't want you to succeed, looking at you and going, yeah, you know, that's what this chapter does for me. But we'll go into more detail in the context. So as always, there's a key takeaway at the start, which I'll begin with. Then there's the MKLism, main body, and then the key takeaway, call to action, should I say. So get yourself comfy. I'm going to read for a little bit, and then we'll get into this afterwards. Are you ready, Sharon Boyd?
Ready to rock.
So for those of you who have bought the book, it's page 57, titled Tinpot. So key takeaway. To quote the great Will Smith, don't ever let someone tell you can't do something, not even me. You've got a dream, you've got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you can't do it. You want something, go get it, period. It'll make a lot of sense when we go through this. So MKLism, I wrote this. Have you ever created something from scratch where you've put a lot of thought or effort in and it's turned out really well? Maybe it's a new skill that you've painstakingly learned. You proudly take your product out into the public for the first time, showing it off to your friends or colleagues, beaming. There are few feelings more heartbreaking than being proud of something only to have someone you trust shit all over it and spit ridicule in the face of your newly found pride. A bit like someone telling you your baby is ugly, which I was an ugly baby. I looked like a little, I was a right little fat thing. This happened to us. We love our company, built it from the ground up, and we're very proud as a result. I remember a meeting where we spoke with real passion about digital facilities management and how we were shooting for the stars and shaking the sector up. The other person in the room, a known figure in the FM world. This isn't just a known figure in the FM world. This is quite a big player in the FM world. Grew businesses, sold businesses, made his money, etc., etc. So you could argue they knew what they were on about, especially within an FM space. Sat and listened. After we finished, big smiles on our faces, the individual spoke at length about how we were barking up the wrong tree. Tech and FM weren't a sector to get into, finishing it all off by saying, "You sound like a tin pot business." Thankfully, we know when to remain calm when disrespected. We got up and left quietly. Main body. We wanted to explore that Tinpot label a little further in the industry that we were in. Amazon, Microsoft, Google, all have fantastic IoT platforms, billions spent, trillions in value, and probably multi-million customers. Most of us can only dream of. It's so easy to see why you would go to these guys for your tech. Why wouldn't you? If you've got the cash, you can play. But what if you're the rare breed that's looking for the reliability of a full cloud service, but with a personal customer experience usually found in the smaller scale-up IoT businesses? Smaller companies can provide the best of both worlds, especially when they really put CX at the heart of what they do. They genuinely care. And you can't fake being genuine. And I think it's one of those unique factors that you can tell if someone isn't being genuine, unless they are like world-renowned Oscar-winning performance. Equally, everyone will look like a Tinpot compared to AWS-type solutions. Yeah, unless your name is Zuckerberg or Bezos, then you're going to come up against it when you go to these guys. So we say embrace a Tinpot. We need to make it clear that we don't recommend you find someone building tech in their garage to support your digital ambitions. Due diligence of your tech provider is key. Check for safety standards and understand the supply chain. CIOs are a nervous breed, which they are, and implementing new tech in your business on your company's network can heat things up. Most companies running enterprise IoT systems process have everything in place to deal with this. However, it's best to start by setting up external tech on separate networks outside your companies. It just makes everything and everyone move faster, more smoothly, so we all get comfortable with each other. What I'm saying there is you don't want to start jumping on people's network and talk about integration, and we'll get into that in a bit more detail after this, because it makes everybody nervous. Also, how and where is a data stored from your newfound tech provider? Look for data being stored in highly credible cloud storage services such as AWS, Amazon Web Services. The smaller IoT providers that have all the moves and the right processes can really rock your socks off and give the big boys a bloody nose, which we've found over the years. You don't have to spend big to digitalize your business, or at least start, which is a key thing. There are many IoT sensors out there with beautiful dashboards that can be bought online for less than £1,500. Energy management systems for under £2,000 can be installed in less than 4 hours, giving you live energy spend and carbon usage. Our clients work really hard to meet their ambitious carbon zero targets. We show them where to focus their efforts. What would you do with that data? Or what could you do with that data? We shook off our Tinpot shadow a long time ago. Validation for your solutions is a fantastic thing. We pitched to large government agencies explaining in detail our digital facilities management business model. We left with big smiles on our faces, not because we left with an order, no, but because people got and celebrated our business model. And more importantly, they could see the value for their business. Seeing a customer excited because there is a solution to their problem or a way forward that they have not imagined is a wonderful place to be. Call to action. When someone shits on your idea, ask yourself, why? If it's something you truly believe in, make it happen. What have you shelved because someone pissed all over it? Dust it off and take a look. Electricity was laughed at to start with, but where would we be without it now? I really like that chapter.
It's interesting. I've been watching Downton Abbey loads lately, and I've watched.
Grandma.
I know, but I've watched 5 series pretty much over the last month, which I need to have a word for myself for that.
You really
Binge
do.
watched.
You really do.
But what I've really seen, because obviously it's through the years as it goes by, you see this big grand old house, Downton Abbey, go through all of the changes and how they respond to tech that comes their way, like electricity, lighting, how they deal with this kind of stuff, and the staff and the kind of the the attitudes to this, the motor car, the fashions. How do we do that? How do we respond to change? And those people that are the naysayers, you go, well, no, this will be a flash in the pan, like a gramophone or a TV. No, this is just a flash in the pan. We'll never move to anything like that. And then as it's embraced, the difference is that it's made. So yeah, that's really come through for me, kind of watching that. But that's exactly the kind of response that you got, wasn't it? You outlined this is what the future's going to be like, and got it just,
Well, for us, it was a case of saying you look at the FM sector. I mean, and it seems so common now, but back then it didn't. So you could go to an IoT business to optimize your organization, and they would design you something technology-wise, and then they'd implement it or have to maybe outsource that to someone to implement it because it might not be NIC approved. In the UK, that's like a governing body for electrical installation work and safety. Very rarely would you get an IoT business that's NIC approved. They'll probably outsource that to an installation company. Or you could go to an FM company, and the FM company would give you the hard services, so a guy on site doing the mechanical stuff. But if that client then said to the FM provider, I want to optimize this or that, they'd go, right, I'll go find someone. So we thought, well, let's combine the two. And I remember having these conversations at the time going, well, if someone's got your distribution board cover off, testing it, why would you not install an energy management system if that's what the client wants? Because one, there's less disruption for the client because he doesn't need a second visit. And two, the installation cost of the energy management system goes away because it's already, you're already on site doing that. But because of the retained value for the client, you're not missing out on additional revenue. You're unlocking more revenue because it's easier to transact with. And I remember being in some of these big Dragon's Den style pitches to some really big organizations, both public and private, and you could see them getting it. And we, as we found out about last week or so, we've just won a very big rollout within a very large organization because of the digital FM model.
Yeah, it works.
It just works. And did we think of it? Of course we didn't. There'll be other people out there that'll be doing various things. But for us and the people we were speaking to, they haven't heard of it before. And we were speaking to it in such a way in some of these organizations that once they understood it, they went, now I get it. And maybe other people were trying to do it in the past, but they weren't positioning it in the right way for it to come through. But I'll never forget that meeting when we had the conversation with the chap we were talking about and telling us to drop the facilities management side of the tech piece and become a pure digital business, so just a pure tech business. And because of how influential that person was, we went away and for weeks we wrestled with it. And I remember having conversations with John, my business partner at the time, going, what are we? I don't know what we are now. Are we a digital FM? Are we an FM? Are we an IoT business? What are we? It took us a long time to be comfortable enough to be able to stick to his guns. It's all right saying, if you've got a dream, go after it. I get it. But, if you think about it, when you've got people that are in that field and who have been very successful in that field telling you aren't doing the wrong thing, it takes a very strong person to pick it back up afterwards.
Yeah, I scribbled that down as you were talking, actually, because we've talked previously about kind of the power of someone cheerleading you, being behind you, believing in you, and kind of going, come on, you can do it, and checking in with you. That's really powerful. But on the flip side, if you're surrounded by naysayers or someone who you see as really influential, who just pours cold water all over your dreams, that is hard to then go, I really respect you and I respect your experience, but I'm going to disregard that because I really believe in it myself. But knowing that, especially when you have that, I'm not as an experienced as you. What do I know in comparison to you?
Or what do
That's
I not
hard.
know? Yeah. What don't
Yeah,
I know that you know?
exactly.
That I should be doing.
Wary of. Yeah.
Oh, exactly. And I think I sent you, or you sent me a video on TikTok. It was about conformity. So you had, I think it was 6 people or 7 people in a line,
Yeah.
and one of the girls in that experiment wasn't part of it, and the other 6 were.
They were in
And
on the game. Yeah.
yeah, they were in on the game, and they showed them. There was 1 to 4, and 1 to 4 on the other side, and it was which line is the same as the other line on the piece of paper. So the on number 1 there'd have been a line, and on number 1 on the other page there'd have been another line. Are they the same or are they different? Yeah, exactly. So if you can see this, they're saying it is line A similar to line B, C, or D. You'd say A is the same to D, but the person who obviously saw that it was A to D, they'd stick to it. But if the people then changed and said A is similar to B, a very smaller line, she stuck to her guns for a little bit, and then eventually she conformed, even though she could see that it was incorrect, because the group mentality said that was the answer. She stuck to it.
Yeah. And you could see her face was really confused, wasn't it? No, A and D are the same size. How come everyone else is getting it so wrong?
Yeah.
And we went through those same challenges going, no, but I really do think that this is right.
Yeah.
But if other people are telling me no, then I need to really second guess myself.
Well, we started off as a company installing for IoT providers because they can't install. So they can design you the sensors and the solution, but the actual physical engineers on site taking board covers off things like that, they can have people in house who are trained, qualified engineers, electricians, but most of the time they don't. So they'll outsource it, and that's how we got started, was outsourcing, because we sat there going, but we do FM stuff and we're out and so why don't you just combine them together? Find a solution that you can provide to your clients and be that pure digital FM. And that's the journey we went on as a result. And I mean, as I said, we've shaken off, I'd like to think, Tinpot mentality. Unfortunately, some of the projects that we've got, we're not allowed to talk about externally, which is frustrating. But do you want to be successful or do you want to be famous? I'd rather be successful than famous. But it's important to keep those Tinpot roots. I think it grounds you.
Yeah, I was thinking about this in terms of symbols, and we do this really well in our company. So we've talked about on other podcasts the spirit of ecstasy, the kind of this is where we're going. That's that piece of you. I think you've got it on your desk, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. So for listeners listening, Mark's dream is to have a Rolls Royce Ghost, and at the moment he's holding up the lady, the spirit of ecstasy that goes on a Rolls Royce bonnet, and he's got one of those on his desk, to show where he's aiming at, and he has it facing forwards at the moment because that's what it looks like when you look at a car that's not your own, but when you're driving it, it's obviously facing outwards and you're looking at it from the other way, which is a really great symbol of that's where I'm going. That's my big, hairy, audacious goal, which we talk about all the time. But where we've used this other symbol, the Tinpot, to go, that's where we started. Whenever you start, you are a tin pot, something that, someone who doesn't quite know everything just yet, and you're growing in growth. And we have that as our roots. And that's the reason why we called the studio, the Tinpot Studio. This is where we came from. We are in a really big period of growth. We don't know everything, which is why we spend a lot of time talking about demystification and myth busting to help our customers and other people kind of understand and come along some of this journey with us. We don't understand everything, but as we go on that journey, we remember where we've come from. And you've got actual tin buckets, haven't you? A couple of tin buckets in the office.
Yeah, they're dotted about all over the place.
Yeah, and in your house to kind of make you go, no, we've grown. Look how far we are from them. And you've also, as we go into our kind of our rebrand, which has been announced at the moment, we are changing our B, which is another symbol that we have, or we had in MKL. And you've actually got it on your wrist, haven't
I've got it
you?
on my wrist,
Your
yeah.
binary B. And the binary B is also transforming, just as we are as a company. So those symbols have worked really well for us, both to propel us forwards, but also to ground us in where we were and what we were thinking of.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
shared this morning that very first video of our first office, didn't you?
Yeah. In I think it was like in August 2018.
18, yeah, which really isn't that
It
long
isn't that long
ago.
ago, and I remember looking at it. I mean, this office was tiny. I
Yeah,
think I
one
could
window,
stand
two
in it,
chairs.
and I think I could put both arms like that. I think it was about the size of the studio that I'm in now.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
quite tight. It
it
had a great
was.
view. It had a fantastic view over the Leeds city centre, but it was where we were started at the time, and we've changed. But on those symbol things, the reason why that B is there, there's a very good reason why that B is there on my wrist. Because as you said, the B is evolving, and there's a new and improved, funkier B coming out as we do this rebranding. But the reason why I put that on my wrist is when I've been in meetings or difficult situations with pitches or on Zoom calls, I normally sit with my hands like that up. So it's great to be able to look down and just see it. And I get that grounding experience of either this meeting's going really well, so it grounds me not to become arrogant or start sprinting and asking for more. But likewise, if I'm having a tough time in a meeting and I'm up against it, I look at it to think, no, you are correct in your idea or your vision. You just need to be more conservative in terms of how you put that idea across, but you know that is the right thing to do. So instead of going and beating down and going, no, this person's more senior than me, or they're a bit more knowledgeable more than me, and I don't really understand this, so I'm just going to shrink file it. No, that's why that symbol there for me is so important and strategically placed, because it won't look like the newbie that we've got, but it will ground me knowing that where we've gone from and now where we are going.
Yeah, and kind of just thinking about that office image that you shared this morning, that tiny office. I mean, now we've got two. We've got a much bigger office up in the northern office where you are now, which is big enough even to have its own recording studio in. And we've got this one down here, the southern office, and we also have the digital technology
The
park as well.
Nexus one, yeah,
Exactly,
over at
which is
Leeds
huge
University.
and very exciting. So you can really see that kind of the growth that we've had, but that Tinpot symbol kind of shows us, if you look back at that, that's where we came from. And to remind ourselves to stick to our guns and just go, no, we're going to give this a good go. We believe in our key strategy and where we're going to go. And we're willing to fight for it. And thank goodness we did, because look where we are now. As you say, we can't share the details, but trust me, they are exciting ones that you would, when we were back 2-3 years ago, we'd give our right arm for some of these customers that we've got now. And it's just amazing. But that's through passion. It's about believing where we're going, about believing where we've come from, and our key kind of goals and eye on the prize, and having conviction and keeping going, not believing that, no, you're a Tinpot, I'm the naysayer, and you're going to stay small.
And I think the Tinpot mentality is a nod to all the bootstrappers out there. So all you people out there that are listening to this that are not funded through choice, you don't want funding, or you've gone through the funding process and you haven't been successful. We haven't taken funding here, and there's many reasons why we haven't done that. One, because the management structure and the culture of the business is absolutely fantastic at the moment, as proved by the client base and what we're winning at the moment. So why the hell would I want to risk that by bringing in a different variable that maybe could enhance it, but also it could change it, and that's not a risk I'm prepared to take at the moment. But I think we're being a Tinpot. It teaches humility, and more importantly, it is give us patience. Because when you're a bootstrapped organization, every cent, dime, penny, pound that you spend is so important, because it's easy to spend investors' money. And yes, you might be stood next to a funded tech business or whatever business else your sector you're in, and they might have fancier marketing, better uniforms, slicker delivery, better process, or whatever it might be. But look at the foundations, look at how you're handling yourself, look at how much you deliver with passion, and I pretty much guarantee that you will be still standing at the end because you built it on solid foundation, and that's because you're a Tinpot.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. Other than Sharon jangling or whatever that noise is. Have you got any beads on or something? What's that jangling noise? Have you got jingles or... Yeah, it's that. Like a little jangler.
Sorry. That's me getting excited with my headphones.
All right. Yeah, I
Sorry.
thought that. I was going on my one of classic my little rants, and then I heard Jeepers Creepers guy coming in. I don't know what was going on there. Little jingle jangle. Yeah.
Passionate.
But I think we should end it there then. Shall we end it there? We normally rant on for about an hour, but I think this is a short, sharp G-up for those that are watching this. Maybe you've just started, or maybe you're on a difficult journey at the moment. You know, maybe you're a one-man band. Maybe you sat in your bedroom watching this on your phone. You know, whatever it might be. We've all been there, trust me. Keep going, keep persistent, keep patient, and it will happen. It really will. It really will, but you've got to keep going. Don't ever lose your Tinpot values. And have a great day.
Yeah, surround yourself with cheerleaders as well, and kick the naysayers to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Or you could do, I mean, me and Sharon debate this all the time, or you could keep them close and use it as hate fire. That's probably a different conversation altogether.
Use it as fuel, yeah.
Yeah, David Goggins it. As, you know,
yeah.
I can't say what he would probably say, because I get banned from the various streaming channels that we're on, but he'll use David Goggins type language.
Yeah. To propel yourself forwards.
Should we let people get on with the mornings? Always a
you. Have a
pleasure
great
to see
day.
you all and hear and listen and smell and touch. Weird. Okay, enjoy the singing at the start of this if you're watching it back. Bye.
Bye.